Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Welcome back to my booktube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the books I would like to read this fall season. I want to start out by saying that I do have quite the stack here, and I definitely am not expecting to get through all of these books that I am going to mention today. However, in an ideal world, these would be the books that I would get through probably during October and November. The first book on my list is one I was hoping to read in September and I didn't get around to, but I definitely want to, and that is Frost by Marianne Bear. If you recall, this follows a girl going to boarding school and sort of weird things start happening at the school, and it seems like the school is haunted. So perfect spooky read for October. Kind of glad I didn't get around to it in September so that I could enjoy it during this month and during the spooky season. So hopefully I will be picking this up very soon. Another book that I really wanted to start in September, I definitely didn't plan on finishing it during September, but I wanted to at least start it, and that didn't happen because I was so busy. But that was It by Stephen King, and I really want to read this as part of Kira Foster's It read-along, and if I want to do that, I have to finish it by October 23rd, I think. So I've got a lot of reading to do if I want to do that. Honestly, if I don't read anything else and I only get through it during the month of October, I'm going to be pretty happy. Although I think if I just spend a few hours on it during some free time, I will have no problem getting through it. Although the audiobook is, I think, 48 hours long, and I know that if I were to pick up the physical book, it would probably take me even longer because I am quite a slow reader, but I think I will be able to read it before her live show discussion. At least that would be the goal. Next, I have a book that I was hoping to read last year and I didn't get around to, and this is definitely a backlist book, and that is Rhymes with Witches by Lauren Myracle. I love Lauren Myracle's books. I read quite a few of them back when I was in high school, and this one, I don't think there's actual witches in it. I think it's more of like a Mean Girls type story, but on the back it does say, "Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it." And it says it's about the terrible price some are willing to pay for high school popularity. So I think there might be a darker twist to this. So I think it will be good for the fall spooky time. I'm not a huge fan of Mean Girls, but I think this sort of darker element will probably make me enjoy this book, along with the fact that I've already enjoyed some of her other books. Next, I have another backlist book that I've been meaning to read for years. I think I probably bought this book when Borders was going out of business, so a very long time, and that is Once in a Full Moon by Ellen Schreiber. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully I am. If not, I apologize, but this is another young adult book, and I believe the main character goes to a psychic, and then soon after that meets a werewolf boy that may or may not be a love interest, and I think there's a bit of a love triangle between a boy she was already interested at the school and this new mysterious werewolf creature boy. So I am interested. It seems like it'll be kind of light-hearted, maybe. I think this was kind of around the Twilight era of books, so this might be a bit of a throwback kind of a thing. So hopefully I can get to this. I think if I don't get to this year, I'm probably going to donate this book, just because if somebody else can enjoy it rather than it sitting on my shelf for even longer than it already has been, that would be great. Next, I have two books that are more so local New England history type ghost stories and such. So first I have Connecticut Seaside Ghosts by Donald Carter, and this is a collection of stories about different places in Connecticut that are supposedly haunted, which I think is interesting. Some of these places I've heard of and been to, so I would love to read through this. It seems like a pretty quick read. This might be a good one for like a 24-hour readathon if I can manage to squeeze one in, or maybe for like weekend ween. I know that's coming up towards the end of October, and I would love to participate in that if I'm not working at that time. Not sure what my schedule is going to be like. So, Connecticut's Seaside Ghosts. And then similarly, actually not similarly at all, because this I believe is a fictional story that might not even necessarily be based on the actual Mount Monadnock, but this is Murder on Mount Monadnock by J.S. Winter. And if you don't know, Mount Monadnock is located in New Hampshire, and it's one of the most like hiked, climbed mountains in the country, I believe. And this, I think, is like a murder mystery type story taking place in the area. I think this might be a little bit like Clue in the sense that there's different people trying to solve the murder on Mount Monadnock mystery. Not sure. There's not a lot of information on the back, and I think this might be like very local, a book that I just happened to find at like a book sale, and because I recognized Mount Monadnock, I had to get my hands on it. I think this book might also be part of a series of some sort because it says a Robert de la Tour murder mystery, so I don't know where this is in the series or if I'm going to be confused by just reading this one. It seems like a pretty short read. It's just under 300 pages, and I think this could also be a good one for a readathon, so maybe I could just power through some of these shorter books during a spooky 24-hour readathon. That would be super fun. Next is a series that my friend recommended, so shout out to Shannon if you're watching, and that is the Dorothy Must Die series, and I believe this is a darker retelling of the Wizard of Oz stories and Dorothy from those books and movies. And I think I have heard of this series before, and it was kind of on my radar, but now I will definitely have to check it out. Not sure if I will get to it as quickly as I would like to, just because I have so many other things happening, but I am definitely interested, and I have added it to my Goodreads, so hopefully I can find it. I think it is available on Scribd, so I will probably read it via ebook or audiobook from there. Another book that I don't have a physical copy of but would love to get to this fall is The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. It is the fourth book in the Truly Devious kind of series. However, I believe we're following the main character Stevie through a different mystery story. So my boyfriend and I just read the original like trilogy, and that kind of follows a murder mystery that's taking place during a dual timeline. So half of the story is in the past where a murder had previously occurred that was never solved, and half of it's taking place during present day when new murders are happening at the Ellingham Academy. And our main character, Stevie, basically wants to be a detective and has been trying to solve the previous murders, and now that she's attending, all these new mysterious kind of murders are happening. So if you like murder mystery stories, more like a cozy mystery, it's not too intense or graphic, definitely check out those books. Next I have not necessarily graphic novels, but two of them are illustrated and one is a volume of comic books. So The first is Stephen King's The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger. If you watched my Sunshine Readathon vlog, you will have seen me pick this up over the summer at a thrift store. And this, I believe, is just a collection of short stories from Stephen King. And I am excited to potentially read this year, if not maybe another time. I am always in the mood for something spooky, and I have been loving Stephen King. Next, I have A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This one has absolutely gorgeous illustrations in it. I mean, look at that. So lovely. I think it's all ink originally. The artist is Jim Kay, and they did an absolutely phenomenal job. You can really see the different textures that they used, and this is definitely a distinct style of artwork. I love it. I'm a bit of an art nerd as well as a book nerd and an environmental science nerd, so another quick read. I feel like if I just sat down one day, I could just power through some of these. It's just finding the time to do so. This one has been turned into a movie. I have not seen the movie, but would love to read the book, watch the movie, see how they compare. It sounds like we're following a child whose mom is having some type of treatments. Not sure what for, because I don't really know much about this. Just going off of the back of the book here, it says the monster showed up after midnight as they do, but it isn't the monster Connor's been expecting. The one from the nightmare he's had nearly every night since his mother started her treatments. The one with the darkness and the wind and the screaming. This monster is something different, something ancient, something wild, and it wants the truth. Sounds very intriguing. I wonder if it's kind of more of a like mental health kind of theme. I'm not sure. So looking forward to hopefully picking this up this year. And lastly, for now, I'm sure I will think of a million other books as soon as I'm done filming this video, but for now I have The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. This is volume 1. I really wanted to get my hands on volume 2, but it seems like they're never going to release the actual volume 2, and instead they have just released the occult edition of this, which is a bind up of volume 1 and 2. So I'm hoping to get my hands on that this year because I thoroughly enjoyed this darker twist on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I grew up watching the Melissa Joan Hart TV show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I named my cat Salem after her cat in that book, which was funny because he was a white cat, not a black cat, but he was a sweetheart, and I just was totally obsessed with that growing up and the magic of it all. And I enjoyed the first season of the Netflix show, and after that, in my opinion, it started to go a little downhill, especially when they started to really push the musical elements. I really did not enjoy that. However, the comic book here is drastically different than the Netflix adaptation, even though it had the same kind of vibes at first for that first season. So I am looking forward to rereading this volume 1 and hopefully getting to volume 2 in that occult edition if I can get my hands on it, because I loved the Archie comics and whatnot. So this is a lot of fun. Really enjoyed this. Like, again, the illustrations, like people who do the comic book illustrations are just amazing to me. Like, you tell so much story through illustration in something like this, and it really makes a difference with the style and everything. So hopefully I can get my hands on that and continue this this year. And that is everything I am hoping I will be able to read this fall. Honestly, I had high expectations for book reading in September, and I ended up reading like 2.5 books. So we'll see how October goes. Like I said, I would love to do a 24-hour readathon. I just need to work one into my schedule. I feel like I end up not reading all that much during the warmer months of the year, and then when it gets cooler outside, I just want to like cuddle up in a blanket with a book. So hopefully this fall and winter will be really good reading seasons for me. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Heard voices in the night, whispers of double lives. Saw back from where you